And good morning, everyone, from wherever you are. My name is Karen Dunphy, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. Welcome to today's meditation. So I invite you to go within. This meditation will be a combination of spoken word, contemplation, and affirmations. Our focus is on the mystic's abundance and welcoming good, welcoming God in all forms. Turn within. Descend deep into your heart, allowing the breath inward and outward, dropping down into your heart mind. Let yourself see your meditation cushion. What color is it? What are the surroundings like in your heart? Your field of compassion. You're safe there. You're welcome there. There's no place else you need to be. There's nothing else you need to do. Your body is the barometer of your truth. Listen carefully to it. Notice any sensations, feelings, allergies. Spring is arriving. Winter is fading. With spring, we welcome good in all forms. Abundance has been in you all along. Just take a moment and allow yourself to recognize it. Breathing in. Breathing out. The air, the colors of the rainbow, birds singing. The sound of the river of goodness, the elixir of life. There is nothing missing. Nothing is wrong. You are as perfect as the day you were conceived. You live in the love and the consciousness of God, the consciousness of good. You are the love that God is. You are the truth. Drink in and feel the abundance of the universe raining all over you. The universe is raining abundance on you. The goodness of spring, the renewal of life, is awesome in all its splendor. Your life is renewing too. The river of goodness feeds all of life. It feeds you too. The river of goodness is bountiful beyond measure. So are you. Ask yourself, how is goodness living you today? How can you share God's love for you today? How can you circulate goodness today? How can you model the river of goodness? Spring is the time for renewal. Ask yourself, how can you match the goodness, the abundance, the generosity of the universe? As within, so without. I invite you to gently bring your awareness back into the sanctuary. Look at your toes and fingers and toes. Take a deep breath. Relax in the knowingness that all is well. This concludes the meditation, and we'll begin service at about 10 o'clock. Thank you.
new Wednesday evening experience. In this together. Practices for living through uncertain times. This series of talks is going to be designed to give you some ideas of how to move through the challenges that we face in our lives right now. Because let's face it, we are living in uncertain times, politically, economically, environmentally, socially, personally. The ground feels like it shifts faster than we can steady ourselves. And here's the truth. Uncertainty is not new. What feels new is the intensity of it right now, the velocity, the volume, the way that the information is coming at us so rapidly all of the time is what has led to this intensity that we are feeling right now.
We are in this together, breathing in and letting go, finding strength in one another, learning how to let love show in the silence, in the prayer, in the love we are whole. Here we are, here we stay, held in love along the way. Here we are, here we stay, held in love along the way. We're in this together, no one ever walks alone. We are held by something greater than the fears that we have known. We are in this together, side by side and soul to soul. In the breaking, in the healing, in the love, we are whole. Here we are, here we stay, held in love along the way. Here we are, here we stay, held in love along the way. We're in this together. We are in this together.
Well, good morning, everyone. I think spring has arrived. Do you agree? I'm getting dressed this morning and I said, okay, what sweater am I going to wear? And then I looked at my watch and it said it was an extreme heat warning. I'm like, yeah, no sweaters today. We are so delighted to have you here with us. It's such a thrill to have everyone joining us this beautiful Sunday morning. I want to say hi to the people that are joining us online. If you would turn and wave at that window back there. And you folks that are joining us online, if you would put your name and where you're from in the chat, we'll be happy to give you a personal acknowledgement of your presence with us each week. We are so delighted to be here together, and this is just absolutely a fabulous day of connection and joy and all kinds of good things happening our way. We're going to kick it off with some music. What are we
One
singing?
people today.
One people. Justin and David. You can stand and join us if you'd like.
One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We all are one. One people living on one planet.
everybody. Greet your neighbor at this time if you're comfortable doing so.
What a joy it is to come together as a community, just to share a little love, greet people we haven't seen for a week. It's a wonderful experience that we have here. So I'm going to invite Karen Dunphy, our practitioner of the day, up to give us our invocation and our affirmation. It's going to be followed by a beautiful song sung by Justin and David, and accompanying that is a video that I think needs a little warning. So you may see some people in there that are no longer with us. And so we were bawling this morning, so I just thought I'd share that with everybody so you'd be pre-warned before it comes. So I'll turn it over to the gang here.
Thanks, Rev. Laura. So won't you join me in reading this week's affirmation? I celebrate the constant and loving flow of good in my life, moment by moment.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Let's sing now. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
So as we keep our consciousness headed inward and outward in this magical time of year, it's so exciting to be in springtime. the mystic's abundance, the abundance of the mystic is in each and every one of us right here, right now in this room. And it is so exciting to see Mother Nature coming fully alive as we leave the darkness of winter and head into the lightness of spring, into brand new growth and love and laughter. The geese are flying sideways. It's mating season out there. It's so exciting to watch nature in all of her splendor. And each and every one of us here is nature. We are the nature of spirit, the nature of God, the nature of abundance, and we can't outgive God. So our job right here, right now, today is to just drink it all in and give it back out. And so excited knowing we have a great special message coming from Reverend Laura today. And I just simply want to keep our focus where it ought to be and not let it go too sideways, and because that's the way things go in the springtime. And just keep the main thing, which is to focus on good and God and spirit right here and right now. And I simply release this word back out into the universe, and we simply say, and so it is.
All right, let's sing it now. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. 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 Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. 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 There will be an answer. Let it be. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. And I want to thank Joe and Roxy for the wonderful video. That video was taken from our very first service here in this building back in June of 22. Yeah, 22. We did a white stone blessing. And so we wrote our blessings onto these beautiful stones. And before the concrete was poured, they were buried in the ground here. So beneath your feet are all those wonderful blessings that came from this lovely services, as well as lots of other good things in there. So I had fun filling the ground before the contractor said, what is in here? Don't ask. So today we are continuing our theme for March, which is the Mystic's Abundance, welcoming good in all of its forms. And so my talk title for today is called A River of Good. So we have been looking at some ideas of quantum physics, and I want to bring that into this idea of a river of good and the abundance that's always available to us, no matter who we are or where we are or how we're moving through life. There is this incredible abundance that's moving through us. It's actually a current that moves through our life all of the time. It moved through us before we were born. Will continue to move through us after we're long gone from this body. This current is the same current that grows the forest, that spins the galaxies, that mends our broken bones, that inspires us to forgive, that births new ideas in the middle of the night. The mystics throughout the time have called it things like grace or love. Lao Tzu, the mystic from 6th century China, called it the Tao, the way. The infinite presence, the universal intelligence. I happen to like creative love intelligence is what I call it. So it's this thing that continuously moves into expression through us. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, says that he calls it this thing. There is an infinite intelligence forever seeking expression. An infinite intelligence forever seeking expression. And it's constantly looking for that avenue through which it can express. Joel Goldsmith, one of the mystics we study here, says that there is a spiritual flow that does not need to be improved, manipulated, or earned, only realized. It's already there. It's already our inherent nature that this flow moves through us constantly. We don't have to do anything to earn it. We don't have to do anything to improve ourselves. We just have to be quiet enough to realize the presence of the divine is actually moving through us. And so this is what I call the river of good. And so this talk is about how this river is always flowing into our lives, always flowing into our expression. And so the big question for this talk today is whether or not we are resisting in it or participating with it. Are we resisting that flow of good that is constantly looking for an outlet, or are we actively participating in it? And so the illusion that we often come across here is what ifs. The what ifs often keep us from realizing that there is this flow moving through us. Most of us don't wake up and think in the morning, we don't wake up and think, there is this infinite flow of good carrying my life forward. That's not generally what comes to our mind when we wake up. Am I right? I have the unique pleasure, I guess, of being someone who wakes up about 1 o'clock in the morning and then stays awake for a couple of hours. I can guarantee you it is not an infinite flow of good that's running through my life for those couple of hours every morning. But it's one of these things that we can begin to train ourselves to do. And so instead of waking up thinking, what if this thing doesn't work out? What if there isn't enough? What if I lose what I have? What if this diagnosis or this relationship or this political climate or this economy, what if it all overwhelms me? Those are usually the kind of things that I wake up with at 2 o'clock in the morning, the what ifs. Our human nervous system is completely wired for our survival. And so those what ifs are actually a natural part of the functioning of our brain. Our brain is designed, that old animal brain in the back, the primal brain, is designed to keep us safe. And so it is really good at conjuring up these questions for us, these what ifs. It categorizes, it separates, it looks for problems. It's the thing that keeps us from moving forward, from realizing that good. Biologically, it makes sense. We are acting from a primal nature when we were in danger, when we had to watch out for animals that were coming or other hazards around us, where we didn't understand things like fire and the climate and how to grow crops and things like that. We had to survive. And so our brain was beautifully designed to help us survive. I mean, we've gone now from that caveman mentality to this modern brain that we now have. But beneath all of that, all of the drama of the circumstances, all of the ways that our brain tries to protect us, beneath all of that, there's something else is happening. And that is that river of good. It's something that's larger, it's something that is more stable, and it's something that is actually intelligent and looking for a way to express itself in us. And this is where quantum physics comes in. My love of quantum physics here. So in quantum physics, there is this idea that what appears as solid is not solid at all. The chair that you are sitting in is not a solid thing in quantum physics. It's an energy. It's a vibration. Everything about it that makes it solid is held together by this vibrational energy that keeps the molecules contained enough that it actually appears to be solid in your experience. But everything is dynamic, everything is interconnected, everything is constantly in motion. It is constantly in that flow. And so, if we remember also what I was talking about last week, or 2 weeks ago, we have particles and we have waves. And so in this thing where things appear to be solid, it's actually energetic waves that are holding the particles together. So things exist as a wave and they exist as a particle at the same time. So simultaneously, everything exists in that form of a wave and a particle. Quantum physics say that the field, that energy field, precedes any form that we have. So before we can have a solid chair, there has to be a field of energy that is creating it. It has to be a field that is something there available to hold all those particles together to make it appear solid in our experience. Something exists, before something can exist in an actual form, it exists as the potential of the form. And so as we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, that everything exists in these waves of possibility, this energy field of possibility. And as we put our attention on it, those particles come together and become the reality that we experience there. So the way that the mystic would then see this, going back to what we said at the beginning here, about the river of good, the Tao, the way, the love, the intelligence, the energy, whatever you want to call it, The mystic would see this infinite field as that from which everything arises. Everything comes from God, is how a mystic would put it. Everything comes from that grace. Everything comes from divine love. Everything comes from the Tao. It is the generator of all that we experience. What we see as conditions here are actually things that are emerging from this infinite field from which all things arise. So we see these conditions, or we see these things in our experience, but they're actually coming from this one source of everything. So this river of good, then, is much more than we can ever see. This river of good is constantly flowing through everything. And it is so much more than any one thing could possibly ever be. The river is not just visible water. When we think of a river out there, it's also part of the river is also the underground aquifer that feeds it. And so from right there, looking at a river that we see, you look at the Colorado River, and you think, okay, that's the river itself. But there's so much more of it. There's the underground aquifers that are flowing into it. There's the rain cycle that's adding to it, where the rain comes down through the process of the rain cycle. There's the gravitational pull that makes that water move, making it always flow towards the ocean. It's a whole system. So when we look at something like a river, a physical river, we think it's just this one thing, but it is so much more. There's so much back of it that is unseen, that we can't know about. And this is the same for any kind of thing that we are experiencing in life. We have what is seen, what is visible, what we are experiencing right now, but behind it is so much more. There is an action and an activity that is happening unseen to us, often unknown to us, that is moving itself through all of those experiences. But when we fixate on what we can see, when we fixate on what we can experience, then we have a tendency to mistake what is a temporary thing or a temporary experience for being the whole thing. How many of you ever been in a situation that feels awful to you and you can't think of anything else but that situation right now? It seems like it's all encompassing. But if you stop and you can pull yourself out of it and look at it from a distance, you can realize there's so much more back of that. There's what has happened on one side, what's happened on another side, that's what's moving under the undercurrent of it all. There are the things that we can't see and can't know yet that are happening. All of that goes to make that experience that we're having right now. But when we live in a field of awareness, when we actually begin to realize that there is something greater behind all of this stuff, then we begin to have a different experience. When we can see what's beneath the surface, when we can sense what's happening here in ways that we can't see, our relationship to life begins to change in all kinds of ways. When we begin to understand that there's something moving through us all of the time, and what I'm experiencing right now is a temporary experience. It's not my entire reality. It is a temporary experience that I'm having to deal with right now in this moment. But that undercurrent of life, that undercurrent of goodness, it's constantly moving itself through us, constantly flowing. When we begin to change this relationship with life by understanding this, by becoming aware of this field, we begin to stop trying to make our good happen. And we begin to allow it to flow through us. How many of you have struggled and felt like, I'm never going to get ahead here, I'm never going to make this happen? What if we could relax into that and say, this is a temporary experience I'm having right now, and I know my good is flowing through me. Imagine how we can change not only our own experiences, but the experience of others in the world, if we could begin to understand that in a collective level. So we are not a separate entity from this river. We're actually part of it. We're part of the molecules that are moving through this river right now. We think we have this solid body. But as I said, everything that's solid is actually just an illusion. We are an energetic mass of particles that are being held together by this dynamic force. And so, of course, it's constantly changing. Of course, it's constantly moving. Of course, different things are happening to us. But this river of good is not out there somewhere, and we have to bring it into our experience. As Joel said, it's already there. It's just waiting to be realized. It's just waiting to be brought into our experience in a greater way through our consciousness. Not because it isn't already there, but because we haven't realized that it's already there. You are an expression of that river itself. You are an expression of grace. You are an expression of divine love. You are an expression of that creative love intelligence, right here and right now. We are individualized expressions of it. It's showing up beautifully and perfectly and uniquely, just the way that we are right now. Imagine how our lives can change if we actually began to believe that. If we actually began to believe that I am a perfect emanation of a love so powerful that it could do nothing but create more and more and more of itself. Imagine how our lives would change if we could really begin to embrace that. Joel says, the spiritual life is already complete. The problem is not that the good is absent. The problem is we believe ourselves to be separate from it. The good is already there. It is already flowing into expression. But we believe in the things that we have done influence who we are now. We believe that there are things that we don't know, that we should know, that keep us from knowing our good. We believe there are things that we have done that are so horrible we could never be considered good. All of these things are beliefs that we can begin to release when we realize that we are that divine expression, that we are that river of good that is flowing into life. Ernest Holmes reminds us again that we are the individualized center of divine consciousness. Individualized centers of divine consciousness. We are not outside of that consciousness. It is actually in us. We are an integral part of it. We are not having to beg from it. We don't have to barter with it. We don't have to coerce it in any way. We're not competing with anything else to get our portion of it. We are already it. Individualized expressions of it. And our life is already complete and perfect and whole. So if that river is always flowing through life, why doesn't it feel that way sometimes? Do you always feel like you are that individualized expression of the divine? I know I don't, especially at 2 a.m. It feels like we are separate from it because the resistance that we feel inside of ourselves can feel so real. The things that we are doubting about ourselves can feel like they're truth. We can go through our lives, do a little survey of our lives, and find all kinds of examples of when we weren't what we would consider the presence of God. When we weren't behaving in a way that we thought we should. But this resistance, it often looks like things like trying to control situations. Anybody else have that in their life then? Maybe it looks like scarcity thinking. There's not enough to go around. I don't have enough. I'll never make enough. I'll never be enough. It often shows up as unforgiveness. And most often, it shows up as unforgiveness for ourselves. We are so hard on ourselves. We're so hard on ourselves. It shows up as chronic worrying. Things will never get better. I'll never be able to do this. I don't know what to do here. What ifs, what ifs, what ifs. This resistance is often identified with fear. It's often associated with fear because we fear the unknown, and therefore we resist it. And as our founder is so beautifully says, that which we resist persists. That's what we try to push away out of our life just comes back in different ways to show us more and more of itself. Most often, this resistance shows up as us holding tight to what we know. We've gripped on to what we know because we're afraid of what we don't know. We're afraid of what's to come. And so we hold really tight to it. So think about being in the water right now. I happen to have a wonderful relationship with water. I step into water and I bob up to the surface. My mother had the very same body as I did, and she stepped into the water and sunk to the bottom. And it took me a long time to realize what was going on here. But I love the water. I love getting in it. I love that weightless feeling that I get when I float on the surface of the water. I don't need any flotation devices. Let me be really clear about this. I float on top of the water. I actually have a picture of myself floating on the water with one of my dogs on my chest. That's how good of a flotation device I am. So if you're ever with me in a boat, just grab hold of me. I'm not going down. My mother was terrified of the water. She would not get into the water without some kind of flotation device in her arms. And we all learned, we always had pools out here, so we all learned, Mom stays in the shallow end and we keep well away from her. Because she was scared of it. She didn't want the water splashed on her face. She didn't want anything. So when she stepped into the water, she was resisting it. Every cell in her body was tightened up. There was no relaxation in there. I'm often amazed that she actually got in the water because she was so tense when she was in there. I got in the water. I loved it. I relaxed right into it. Like instantly relaxed and popped up to the surface. Mom tightened up and fell to the bottom. When we get into the water, when we try to get into that flow, are we relaxing into it? Are we allowing it to move around us? Are we feeling the joy of what's happening around us? Or are we tight and tense and scared to death of what's going to happen? The spiritual practices that we do is not about forcing ourselves to be in the river, but it's about learning to enjoy it as we are. It's about learning to let go, about letting go of holding on so tightly to that fear of the unknown. It's about relaxing into it, relaxing into the flow. When we step into the water and we tighten up, we sink. When we step into the water and we relax, we float. We move with the water. When we're tight and tense, we're stuck, we're stagnant. The water is having to move around us. Just like the boulders in the rapids of a river. The water is forced to move around that solid object. But when we relax with it, we can go with the flow. So the river of good doesn't stop when we resist, but our experience of it can become stagnant or become turbulent. Imagine if we're that rock that is resisting the river and the water is coming around it. It doesn't go around there nice and smoothly. We've got all those white rapids coming up, the white caps that are coming up on the river as it's hitting the rock. It's having to really divert itself. There's all kinds of little whirlpools and eddies that happen beneath the surface when the water is moving around those resistant parts of it. And so when we are resisting that flow of good, that flow has to change how it's behaving to move around us. But when we're actively engaging with it, then everything is fluid. Everything is flowing smoothly. And so the spiritual practices we do are not about resisting the river or forcing it to be something different, but it's about learning to relax into it. But here's the thing. When I talk about relaxation, consciousness is not a passive thing. Consciousness takes an action and an activity to bring it into fruition. This is not about controlling the universe or controlling the river or controlling our thoughts. But this is about what is happening in my inner world. My consciousness is always active and engaged, but how am I allowing it to be? Am I directing it with thoughts of fear and anger and mistrust and things like that? Or am I consciously engaging in being in the flow of life? Am I consciously allowing myself to move with the river? When we habitually observe life through things like fear and anger, we will experience more fear and anger. You've heard that thing called the law of attraction. What we put our attention on comes back to us. And so if all I look out in the world and I see fear and anger and mistrust and doubt and harm and everything, I'm going to be experiencing more of that. I'm going to be seeing that, more evidence of it happening all the time. But when we observe life through things like trust and gratitude and openness, we begin to notice that there are pathways we haven't seen before. There are solutions that have come to us almost magically. We begin to see connections and synchronicities that we couldn't see before. They were invisible to us because we were using our lens of fear and anger to look through, not a lens of openness. It's not that the river changed. It's not that it started flowing again in my life. It's that I actually began to float with it. I actually began to move with it. And so these practices we use, like prayer and meditation and contemplation, they are practices that recalibrate our nervous system, that get us in touch with our consciousness, that allow us to activate our consciousness in a way that's going to bring about an experience that we want. They train us to recognize that river of good that is always flowing underneath of us. We recognize that field of energy beneath any form that we see, any effect that we see. We begin to see that there is a current moving through there. And so if we keep our attention on the parts that we want to bring into our experience, we're going to be experiencing more of those. Instead of focusing on the things that we're afraid of or the things we're angry about, bringing our awareness back to the things that we are really wanting to bring into our life. And so, again, consciousness is not passive. It is a way of aligning ourselves with that deep current that is always flowing into form. And so this river of good, it moves towards us with a greater experience of life, a greater expression, a greater unfoldment. We need to be able to trust that river of good that's flowing through us. We need to be able to develop a sense that that's happening. And we do that through our spiritual practices. When we engage in spiritual practices as a community together, especially, we begin to see results in our lives that validate these ideas that we're talking about here. And so this is where our faith becomes very practical. This is where mysticism is practical, where we actually begin to practice a way of spirituality that changes the things that we feel in our lives. And so when we are experiencing things like all of the turmoil that's going on in the world right now, we assume that some part of that river is against us. Whether that river be the part that we don't like, the part that we're seeing that we want to change, we assume that it's turned against us. But what if, and this takes that spiritual maturity to understand this, what if the river is not punishing us, but putting us in the position for the greatest good to happen? This goes back to those asking those questions that we ask. When we experience something we don't want to experience, we can ask, why is this happening to me? Or we can ask, what is here for me to learn? Maybe the river is putting us in a position so that we can discover some greater yet to be. Doesn't mean that we like necessarily the position we've been put in, but it does give us an opportunity to reframe it in a consciousness of possibility instead of a consciousness of this is the way it has to be. The river of good includes our transformation. It includes the world's transformation. It includes an up-leveling of consciousness, which is what I believe all this stuff that we're experiencing right now is about. And so if this river is not punishing us, but positioning us, then what does it have to offer for us? So I don't think I've ever said this before from the platform, but I was a Girl Scout, like forever. Like I started as a brownie, and then was a scout, and then was a cadet, and then was a senior. I earned the highest award in scouting, which at that time was called a first-class scout. And so it's, on my honor, I promise to do my duty to God and my country, to help other people at all time, and to obey the Girl Scout laws. I loved being a Girl Scout. One of the things I got to do as a Girl Scout was river rafting. I think I earned a badge for it. Not sure, but I think I did. So the river rafting was a wonderful experience in going with the flow of the river and not letting the obstacles deter us. And as I was learning this, I remember there were 3 rules that the guides taught us in our river rafting. And so the first rule was, the river is always right. Don't argue with the river. It's right. The second one is look where you want to go. Not look where you are, but look where you want to go. Now, how wise is that for our lives? Instead of staying stuck on focus on what's happening right now, we look to what it is we're wanting to achieve in our life. This focus, this change in our focus, determines the direction that we're going to move. And so as a river rafting, you had a specific direction that you wanted to go. And the last thing they taught us was to trust the current. Trust it. Don't try to fight against it. Fighting against it's going to get your boat turned over, just so in case you know. It's going to get us capsized in the water, which is not a fun experience. Trust the flow. Allow yourself to move in the natural way that the river is moving through you, and allowing yourself to not have that urge to overpower it, because it never works. And so we can align ourselves with the river here. We can align ourselves through some practices like stillness. 5 minutes of conscious breathing. When I say stillness, often people think, I've got to sit for 3 hours and meditate in the lotus position. No. Stillness is a breath. Stillness is taking in a nice deep breath, allowing your mind to quiet for a second, and repeating that. Stillness recalibrates our nervous system, reopens the awareness that we have of this infinite field. And when the mind becomes quiet, we can notice the river again. Gratitude. Gratitude is not about denying the hardship that we're feeling right now. It's not a platitude. It's not a way of saying, it's all good, it's all God. I'm just going to be grateful for it. I don't care what it is. I'm just going to be grateful. It's not that. It's about a really deep-seated belief that we know that river is present, that we know our good is possible. And so sometimes it helps us to remind ourselves of what good is already there for us, and be grateful for what it is we're experiencing. Gratitude trains our mind to see the flow instead of the obstruction. We're not looking at the hazards so much, we're looking at the way the current's moving. And then a form of release. At the end of the day, take a survey of what's happened for you that day. And think to yourself, where did I release my resistance? Where did I let go? What was I holding on tightly to throughout the day? And how can I let that go? Consciously taking the opportunity to let it go. You can do it in all kinds of rituals. You can do it with just consciously doing it. You can just say, that's it, I'm letting that go. And if you can't let go right now, there's a huge power in being willing to let it go. We often overlook our willingness to do things. It's a first step to being able to actually take care of it, take care of that thing for ourselves. And so, just to recap here, Ernest Holmes, life is ever giving of itself. We are immersed in this river of good, and it is constantly flowing into our expression. It is constantly looking for a place to move. Are we allowing ourselves to be that vessel? And Goldsmith says, our good is always flowing from the infinite, invisible realm of spirit. It is constantly moving. Are we open to receiving it? Our good is not scarcity. Our good is not limited. Our good doesn't have to be earned. It simply is. And it's waiting for our recognition of it. All right, so we are going to take this into prayer now, and we're going to do today what we call a prayer wall. And so I'm going to invite our practitioners to come forth. They're going to come up here and they're going to stand. And so a prayer wall is an opportunity for each one of you to come forth and ask for a specific blessing. And so the way our prayer is structured is I will begin it with the first two stages of our spiritual mind treatment, which is recognizing the presence of God and then unifying ourselves with it. And then your job is to come up, find one of these beautiful beloved practitioners, and walk up to them. And first thing you do is tell them your name, because trust me, when you're standing up here in the spotlight, you forget. So come up and tell them your name. Say, my name is Laura, and I would like prayer for oneness. And then one of these beautiful people will actually do the realization stage of the prayer where they know the truth for you about oneness or about that thing that you've asked for. And then after everyone has come forth, I will do the last two stages of the treatment, which is thanksgiving and release. Now, Merlon, are you gonna run? So if you can't physically stand to get the prayer, if you will raise your hand, Merlon's going to come to you and sit down next to you, and we'll do the treatment for you. So all you do is raise your hand and just wait for her to be finished with each person. What I'd like you to do is to stand and come to the middle aisle when I say so during the treatment. I'll actually say, and now come and stand in the middle of the aisle, and then make a line. You come up to the practitioners as they are available. When you're done, walk out along the back, the side of the room, back to your seat, so we don't get traffic jam in the middle here. Remember, we're in the river and it has to flow a certain way. So, all right. Okay, so let's just take in a breath here. Let your shoulders drop. Release any resistance you're feeling right now. And open yourself up to that river of good. Knowing that right here and right now, we are immersed in this infinite intelligence, this dynamic flow of energy, of love, of creativity that is constantly moving itself through all life, looking for that right and perfect place to show up. I know that this intelligence, this presence, is a power, a dynamic force, a love so incredible, and a perfect peace. I know it is clarity and wisdom and harmony and joy. It is the perfection of the universe right here and right now. And because I know that there is only this one river, this one flow, I know it is flowing through me and showing up as me in all that I am and all that I do. And as I know this is true for me, I know this is true for each and every one of us. For we are that perfect emanation of this incredible river of love, this flowing through us into expression through all of our affairs, right here and right now. And so knowing this truth, I invite each one to stand, come to the center aisle, and speak their word for prayer. And so go ahead and begin standing now. And so we just give thanks. We give thanks for every prayer that has been spoken here today, knowing that just the asking enters us into the flow, into that river of good. And we give thanks for all the prayers that have yet to be spoken, knowing that the willingness to do so activates that prayer amazingly. And I give thanks for this wonderful congregation and these beloved practitioners who simply know the truth and act upon it. And I release this word into the law, into the creative mind that always says yes, that is always looking for that outlet, that is always unfolding itself for the highest and greatest good of all. I let it go and I let it be. And together we say, so it is.
I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealed and I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealed and I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealed and I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealed and I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealed and I am whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, God's revealed and I am whole.
Thank you, practitioners. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, everyone, for participating in our prayer wall. We do this about once a month, and it's a great experience. I don't know, I get all fired up, so it's all good for me. So when you came in today, you noticed a yellow card on your seats with a pin. Today is the official launch of our pledge program. On the back of the handout that you were given this morning with the blog, with this weekly blog on it, is some rationale for having our Spirit of Giving campaign going on. We're running a little late on time, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. You can read the material that's in there, but I did want to draw your attention to one of the statements in there that if we want to continue to maintain and sustain our center, we need to begin to have about $1,250 more each week. And so I started thinking about that. We have an average of 52 people here on a Sunday, and so that winds up being a little bit more reasonable amount of money for each person to contribute there. And I thought, well, what if we each could give a little bit more? And you know me, I'm not one to ever stand up here and tell you something that I'm not willing to do myself. And so I have this, you might call it a habit. I like to call it a ritual because it makes me feel better. I stop at Starbucks on Sunday morning, and I get a Venti iced green tea and a ham and Swiss croissant. And the total for that is $10.84. And so I decided this morning that instead, I pulled into the parking lot, and I was very tempted because, you know, I hadn't eaten yet. I was very tempted to just go ahead and get my Starbucks, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to give that money today to the church instead. And so I started thinking this out, and if each of us chose one thing, one $5 to $10 thing that we could do without each week, and instead divert those funds to the center, then we would be able to maintain and sustain our center. We had our annual meeting March 1st, and I presented the information to the membership at that time. But basically, we have been tapping into our reserves at such a rate that in 8 to 10 months, we have to look at selling our building. And so if we cannot find ways to increase our revenue and decrease our expenses, That's where we're at. That's the reality of it is. Last year we started this program. I told you last year that we had about 18 months before we would have to consider selling the building. We decreased our spending by $7,000 and we increased our giving by $10,000. So we made a little bit of headway on that, but we still took $50,000 out of our reserves last year. Our reserves are now under $100,000. And so it's just the reality of things. And so I would like you to thoughtfully consider what it is you're able to give here. You don't have to fill out the form today. We would like to have it back by next Sunday. This form filled out with your amount, and your amount is between you and your financial obligations and your people in your lives and all of that. None of us are ever going to tell you that you've got to give 10% or you've got to give a certain amount. No one here will ever tell you that. It is a personal decision for each and every one of us based on what we feel we can do. But I also know that there is a huge power in stretching ourselves just a little bit more. I found it in my life many, many times in many different areas. If I just stretched just a little bit more, I wound up reaping a lot of benefits from that. And so take it home, consider what it is you can comfortably give. If you can increase your giving from last year, that will benefit us. If not, we understand. Whatever it is, that's your ticket to the jazz brunch. If you do not turn in a pledge card, you will not be invited to the jazz brunch. It's a reward for turning in the card. Because what happens is the card lets us make a budget. When we have what we can consider the amount that we can anticipate receiving throughout the year, we can actually plan for things, and we can decide which things we can actually do without and which things are absolute necessities. And so Justin has put together an amazing band for us. Katie Power is going to be singing for us. It'll be an hour of incredible jazz music with the most phenomenal charcuterie board boxes you have ever seen in your life. Trust me, I know. These are good things. And so you'll be invited to come and participate in our jazz brunch. But that yellow card is your ticket. So you got to sign it. You got to fill it out. You got to turn it in. Even if it's, I can give $1 a month. You do what works for you. But that's your ticket to getting in because we need that to create our budget. Okay, I've said enough on that. You've got information on your handout to read, and we appreciate that. So now we're going to do a little collecting of our normal offering here. So I invite our ushers to come forth. We happily receive your electronic donations in several different ways. There is a little button right on the top of our website. That's what I went to this morning. It says donate. You click on it. Easiest can be. I did it in less than a minute. We can text to give. There's the phone number up there for that. Or you can Zelle. If you like to do Zelle instead, you can do those. And we gratefully accept your cash and check donations here today. All right, let's do a little blessing here. Put your hands over your heart. And just repeat after me. We are strengthened by every prayer.
We are strengthened by every prayer.
We are enlivened by every act of kindness.
We are enlivened by every act of kindness.
And we are sustained by the sacred flow of giving and receiving.
And we are sustained by the sacred flow of giving and receiving.
And so it is.
So it is.
What are we
Money's
singing?
coming to me.
Money is coming to
Yes,
me.
indeed.
Oh, I love that one.
Indeed.
It's got a nice rhythm.
Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Every time I open my heart to me, I receive all that I need. Knowing that God heals my soul. To me, I release and let it flow. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Money is a-coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is a-coming to me. Money is effortlessly. Money is coming to me, and I have all I need coming to me, and it's all inside of me. I just ask and let it go to me, and let spirit rain the flow. Money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. Money is coming to me.
And so we just give thanks for everything that we've received here today and for everything that's making its way to us in consciousness, knowing that we are richly blessed and divinely supplied. And so it is. Great. And now we have David and Justin again. Hey.
Just one life, it's all that we've been given here. Just one chance to make a difference where we live. I'm just one man, I'm only human, but only human means I've got a lot to give. Love can move the world as the moon in the sky moves the sea. Love can cause the wars to cease. Love can move this world to peace. It's a tide that begins with you and me. Love can move the world as the sun in the sky moves a tree. Feel the winds of love increase as we move this world to peace. Come love the world with me. Look around, there's someone hurting near you. Look around, there's something you can do. Look within you, find your spirit. To change the world, there's got to be a change in you. Love can move the world as the moon in the sky moves the sea. Love can cause the wars to cease. Love can move this world to peace. It's a tide that begins with you and me. Love can move the world as the warmth of the sun moves a tree. Feel the winds of love increase as we move this world to peace. Come love the world with me. Love can move the world as the moon in the sky moves the sea. Love can cause the wars to cease. Love can move this world to peace. It's a tide that begins with you and me. Oh, love can move the world as the warmth of the sun moves a tree. Feel the winds of love increase as we move this world to peace. Come love the world with me. Come love the world with Thank you.
Okay. So we have done that. We've done that. We need donations. We're asking for donations for a silent auction to go along with our jazz brunch. So if you have any kind of wonderful things that you'd like to give, I just got one of those electronic photo albums, that has a photo frame with all the pictures on it. That was donated, plus some wonderful CDs with a CD player. So some great things are happening. So if you have anything you'd like to consider donating to us, we would love to receive that from you. Our Walking the Path group meets this Tuesday at 10 a.m. It's a fabulous discussion group. They take the Science of Mind magazine and see where the conversation leads to that. On Wednesday evening, on Wednesday evening, there we go. We're continuing our In This Together. We had a great discussion group last Wednesday night. There's a talk that we will watch together on that's broadcast on our YouTube channel as well. We come together at 6:30 for food. If you want to bring your dinner with you, come and have dinner and enjoy it. A little fellowship, a little time of connecting with people you may not know. And then we'll watch the video together, and then we'll do a spiritual practice and have a bit of a discussion afterwards. We're out of here by 8 o'clock, so it's a wonderful experience. Next Saturday is my Zentangle drawing group. Zentangles is a meditative drawing practice. It's a different way of finding mindfulness and connecting with yourself in a creative and fun way. So if you're interested in that, there's more information on our website. Our Women's Sacred Circle meets next Sunday, the 22nd at 2:30 p.m. right here in the sanctuary. It's a wonderful group. Judy always has something wonderful planned for you to move through some of the different challenges we face as women. And finally, if you would help us stack the last 5 rows of the chairs, we would appreciate that. We don't want to stack the first half, but just stack them and move them over here to the side where the blank wall is. We would appreciate that, if you're physically able to do so. All right, would you stand, please? We're running a little behind here, so I'm trying to do rapid fire. So, all right. Would you repeat after me? There is only one life.
There is only one life.
That life is God.
That life is God.
That life is perfect.
That life is perfect.
That life is my life now.
That life is my life now.
Have a beautiful and blessed week. We'll see you next week.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. All right, last time. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. 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 Have a great week, everybody.